What's up, this is Todd Smith. I'm back with another video. In this video, I want to talk about making a creative schedule and how I feel it really does help push along my creative development, creative projects, and things of that nature. I've been doing a creative schedule the last 3-4 months now, and I definitely feel it is something that really can help you guys evolve your creative time and what you want to do within the time frame that you have for your projects. I want to thank you for taking the time to check out this video and support this channel. Without your views and my Patreon support monthly, I would not have motivation to pump out content every single day, and I can't thank you enough for that motivation. For many years, I kind of just turned on my synths, started my creative habits, didn't have a schedule, didn't have anything written down. I spent a lot of time kind of just either thinking about what I want to do, hopping between ideas and concepts, but never really pushing or getting anything out of them, or maybe a lot of times spending too much time on one thing and maybe getting nothing out of it and just feeling really burnt out at the end. Obviously, that wasn't always the case. I'd have good times, good results, great jams, great music that came out of it, but very often, more than I wanted, I was ending up in places that I felt like I was wasting time. That's when I just started writing down things I wanted to do in the studio. I started making a list every single night, kind of thinking about things I wanted to work on. Do I want to pull some multi-tracks I made from the day before into maybe a multi-tracker and add some layers to it and maybe try to create a finished product? Do I have some gear to tune, some analog gear, or maybe some rewiring or reworking of the studio to do? Maybe there's a machine I'd like to build some presets on if it has some preset options, or maybe work on a analog preset with a few analog machines. You know, I started just writing down concepts, so at least when I entered the studio the next day, I had a list, I had an objective, so I wasn't just sitting there turning on the gear being like, all right, what do I do? I had a set list I could go down, cross off, get done. That's how it started, and that was my first phase, and has evolved into what I call the second evolution of my creative schedule. Now what I do is I actually write a list of projects, ideas, concepts that I want to get done, and I give myself kind of a dedicated time frame on when I want to check with myself on if I'm making progress, if I want to keep on going on that part of the project. Maybe if what I did is actually creating the sound worse, so I just want to scratch it all, start from zero, and do that again another day. I just don't cross it off the list, push it aside, and go to the next thing in the project. Maybe it's the opposite. I'm succeeding, and this thing's coming out better than I ever thought. So I want to spend 2 hours on this, really push this hard, and I'll push another 1-hour project to another day that I had scheduled that day. Because it really allowed me to sit down and consider, like, every hour, every half hour, every hour and a half, is what I'm doing being productive? Am I wasting time? Am I making this worse? Should I push it aside and actually focus on something else? Am I really feeling what I'm doing right now? Because that's the thing that cut off me wasting too much time. And it really made the time I had to be creative, it felt eventful, it felt like purpose. It wasn't like after 4 hours of this creative time I had, it feels like I wasted it all on one song that ended up being worse after the 4 hours, and that was just a waste of that time. You know, definitely, especially when you work 40 hours a week, you have kids, and you only have so many hours a week you can be creative. I think that is very important to have to you, because then you can really take advantage of that limited time you have. I'm lucky enough now to where I'm pushing now 8 hours a day myself. I'm applying various directions. I'm doing YouTube, I'm doing music, I'm doing eBay projects. I try to schedule out, 6 to 8 hours a day where I'm doing various things. For me, a good example of a start of a schedule of a day for me would be I do 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes of free play, where I just turn on a synthesizer, usually something digital that has presets, and I just scroll through sounds, playing on a keyboard, playing with various effects, see if I get any influences for later that will stick, that will become another idea. Maybe I'll find a sound that I want to work on later for a song. Just don't have any real objectives, goals. I just play sounds on the keys. So I'll do that for, 30, 45 minutes. I have that scheduled as free play. And then maybe I'll schedule an hour to make a song. So I'll do 30 minutes of free play, then I'll jump into starting a brand new song. And I'll spend an hour on making that. And after around an hour, I'll look at myself and I'll look at the song and I'll be like, is this productive? Was this song something I want to keep? Is it something that I'm feeling right now? It's something that I want to keep on going? Is it something I want to save for later and maybe rework and redo because I'm not really vibing? Or am I vibing with it right now? And again, I want to push another hour, like an example, like I said before, and I want to keep working on this project and kind of adjust my day accordingly. So let's say, for example, I like this song. I started a song, boom, I really like it. I want to work another hour on it. So now I spend 2 hours on that song and I've spent 30 minutes of warm-up time. That's 2.5 hours of my creative day already, just gone. Then boom, YouTube video. Me, myself, since I record, edit, release, do all the promotion, everything involved with these YouTube videos. I give myself 2 hours, record, and just do even just the most basic video. If I'm going to do a tutorial, I'm going to give myself much more than that. Using this video as an example, I gave myself a 2-hour time frame. So if you add that on top of my 2.5 hour day, all of a sudden I'm 4.5 hours into my creative day. I've spent pretty much every time being productive, being creative. And let's say even if I failed when I made that song originally, I would have cut myself off after an hour, being like, okay, I'm not feeling it today, wasted as minimal time as possible and worked right into my YouTube video. And then I would just spend an hour ahead in the day. So that's what the schedule allows me to do. It allows me to maximize my time, realize when I'm kind of not feeling it, cut that thing aside and maybe work on it for later, maybe toss the project aside, maybe keep pushing it, make those adjustments that I need, and really just make sure I'm not wasting my time. Because if you do that and then you set time frames within it and you kind of check on yourself and realize, do I want to keep going? It stops yourself, again, especially maybe when you have a super busy life and you have maybe 5 hours to yourself out of the whole week to actually be creative. If you feel like you just wasted it on a song that you made worse, it makes you less motivated to be creative next time because you didn't achieve anything. So it makes your creative time better while you're doing it. It makes you more motivated to be creative because you're getting more out of your time being creative. In the end, will just, I think, create better projects overall for you. And I just hope it helps some of you guys. If not, do your thing. We're all different. We all vibe different. And I definitely respect whatever you do. So as always, stay positive, stay creative, support each other. In peace.